Hey there everyone, Luke here. Now before I get into the review, just want to say one very quick thing. Me and Red over on Control Chaos, we've been doing, well we did the other day a live stream of our tier list of the 100 girlfriends, basically all the girlfriends that are out in that series so far. So go and enjoy that. We'll be doing part 2 this Saturday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything goes to plan, that'll be up. So yeah, it was very fun to talk about that series. And even though we said it wouldn't take us long, we haven't even got through all the girlfriends yet, and it was 3 hours long, that live stream. So I imagine the next one's gonna, I imagine in total it'll be like 4.5 hours to 5 hours, but based on how long we were actually talking about that series. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. Hopefully you guys will enjoy those videos when we finish them all, and of course we will be hopefully further down the line we'll be doing like another one of the next batch of girlfriends. So I don't know if we'll wait until when it's reached 50 girlfriends to just make it a round number then. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But for now, let's talk about Mission Yozakura family. Okay, so this will be chapter 215. Wow, this series might actually go on longer than Dr. Stone now that I think about it. 215 chapters, and yeah, we're not even out of this part of the story. We've not even gotten to the part with Alpha, and this has gone on for that long. So, well, I'm expecting the part with Alpha to go on for just as long as this. Which, God, how long has this been going on? Like, it has to be going on like 15 chapters at least, so yeah, it might actually overtake Dr. Stone at this point. But yeah, so the title is Hiyofumi versus Korichos. Yeah, pretty standard stuff about what you think the chapter's going to be like. But we start off the chapter with a colour page of Tayo and Mutsumi basically having their honeymoon. They're in Hollywood. I love the hoodie that Mutsumi has of just Goliath with USA on it, and of course she's eating yeah, it's a chili dog, hot dog, whatever you wanna call it. And Tayo's just there like, oh, what destinations can we go for? The first time they can actually be with each other, and Tayo can be like, I get to relax. I don't have Creature on my back because he's in South America at the moment. So yeah, really nice, wholesome colour page there. But getting to the chapter itself, we finally we pick up from where the last chapter ended with Koricho activating his blooming, and yeah, it is his blooming, but it's a new ability of his blooming, where he explains what it's actually going to be, because it takes the form of a snake. So it was kind of basically what I was expecting, like his blooming as being like more refined and more mastered, so that he has control over what shapes he can take on. So I was kind of fine in that regard. So yeah, Hiyofumi's looking this down, and she is not impressed. She's not impressed. She's like, oh, you make a giant snake, Uncle. That's cute, but can you get out of the way, because I need to go after these two. And if you're not going to do that, I'll move you with my super swing. As she tries to swing her yo-yo at him, but Creature is already half prepared out. He's not even trying at this point. He's just got his arms folded. He sees the swinging yo-yo coming after him. It's just like, oh, yeah, super swing, that's cute, yeah, Snake, can you take care of it? As we see the snake basically chomp down on her ability. Like, that is insane, and considering Asa's family have bloomings themselves, or at least equivalent to bloomings, yeah, I think Koricho's blooming here will come in very handy of taking care of them. So Hiyofumi's just like, what just happened? I was gonna attack you, and then your ability just basically ate it like it was a snack for breakfast. And Creature goes on to explain that, Hiyofumi, you have a nearly unmatched level of potential, but you making me move, yeah, that's not gonna happen for another 10 years. So it's kind of like with the Bonkai in Bleach, like, yeah, that's impressive, you have a Bonkai now, but have you even trained with it? Nope. So yeah, you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to move me because in order to master Bonkai, not just attain it, you have to train for at least 10 years. And this is basically what creatures say. Yeah, like, oh, you've got a blooming heel through me, yeah, but you're not going to move me because you have the potential, but you just haven't mastered it. You haven't got it under control yet. As he goes on to explain that. The ability he has is Naraku. It's a snake made up of layers upon layers of my thread, and its mouth is my blooming void. So he's basically okay. He's activated his blooming, but it's not. But it's not being like omnidirectional. So he's been able to like okay. It's kind of like he's combined like the. When he used the Goddess Wet to like shield everyone in that bubble when he first activated his blooming, it's kind of like he's shrunken that down. He's kind of doing the same ability, but he's doing it around his blooming, and he's been able to morph it. He's been able to morph his threads into this snake-like form. So it's kind of like a combination of his steel spider mixed with his blooming. So that's kind of the ability that they're going for here, and this is pretty damn OP. OP itself is if his blooming is in there. So her attack was basically just shredded to bits by his blooming. So yeah, if he's able to disguise his blooming in any form he so chooses, yeah, that's going to be a very, very scary threat coming up. So Karicho carries on and says, yeah, we don't know the full details of your blooming, but an endless fire of energy is clearly dangerous. You aren't physically trained to handle it. So again, it's sort of like a the way I would compare it is to like Skull Greymon from Digimon, like when Greymon goes into his dark form and it's out of control. Kind of the same thing here with Hiofumi's blooming here. As he continues and says, so it's out of your system. I'll swallow every last bit of that energy until it's gone. Fruitspot will handle the other two. As of now, your part is over. But Hiofumi's like, no, Uncle. Don't be saying that. My part isn't over because I still have more tricks on my sleeve. I should create another giant energy yo-yo. And of course, she's like, "Oh, super swing didn't help, but how about super swirly whirly?" Try saying that 3 times fast. So I'll give her credit. It is pretty massive, but she should. Didn't she hear what he said? Yeah. My blooming is inside this snake, and she saw how easy it was for that snake to just be like, oh, gobble it up and negate it. So yeah, Hifumi, even though you're trying at this point, just give up. You're not going to be able to beat Karicho. And sure enough, the snake shields Karicho from the attack, and Karicho's saying like, is this all for Alpha's sake? Is that why you're so intent on taking down those two by your own hands? Because they're basically threatening Alpha. And Hifumi says to him like, no, that's not the truth at all. Yes, Alpha's super duper important to me, and they did do scary things to me, but I just can't believe they're bad people. So yeah, and Nee has basically proven like, yeah, she's not a bad person, but she can't really go against the orders of Asa, and that's really where Hifumi needs to be focusing her energy, not on these two, but on Asa, because Asa is the true threat here, the one that's threatening this person. Like, if you don't kill these people, I'm gonna be killing you. So Nee doesn't really have a choice, and that's what Nee needs to like. Look, Hifumi, I'm only doing this on orders of Asa, my father. So yeah, Asa is scary. He's more scary than your uncle. Like, if Nee came out and said, yeah, Asa is more scary than your uncle, then I think Hifumi would be like, oh, okay, uncle, I'm sorry if I think he said so, let's go and take down Asa. No, she's not going to do that. She's going to still hate her uncle. So she continues on and says, but even if I want to talk with them, Auntie Fusuma will probably beat them up before I get the chance. That's why I have to go now. And she knows that at this point she's being stubborn, and as she says here, and she's supposed to use her words to say how she feels, but she's not like Alpha. She's not like anyone. Like she in a way she is very like. We compared her to Karicho when she was first introduced, but this is very much Karicho's personality. Like, Karicho isn't one for expressing his emotions all that much, unless they're like, I am in a fit of rage because you're attacking my family, but more importantly, you're attacking Mutsumi. It's he's very much a reserved kind of character. Like, you can't really tell what he's thinking. Well, you can tell what he's thinking, but what emotion he's portraying with that thought, you can't really tell with him. And it's the same thing with Hiyofumi, unless it's like a straight up anger outburst, then she's very hard to tell as a character. And she goes on and says, I'm not smart either, but Koricho is smart. Like, there's no doubt about it. He is a smart character. Would I say he's smarter than Nanano? That's a thought. Is Koricho smarter than Nanano? Like, I know tactically he might be smart, but in terms of like straight up intelligence, I think Nano might outrank him. And she can't describe how she feels. Alpha always says it isn't polite to run around bashing stuff, but this is the only thing I know how to do. Like, yeah, basically Koricho is like, yeah, they say it's not nice to be going around beating up people, but they're attacking my family, and it's the only mode I have. It's like, family being attacked, gotta attack them. So she's gonna do it now, and she won't stop until everybody understands. But this being Koricho and him obviously seeing a lot of himself in her, he is the perfect person to understand. He actually says it right here, like, I do understand. I have from the beginning, and yeah, he would do. Like, he's seen how she is with Alpha, and he's like, okay, that is basically me with Mutsumi. So trust me, I know how it feels to be misunderstood. It happens to me often. Yeah, no bloody shit, it happens often. Like, when you are creepily saying, like, look at my sister, isn't she perfect? If you try to take her from me, you're gonna die. Like, come on, Koricho. Gotta tone it back a bit, but yeah, you're Koricho, you're not gonna do that. But he says, that's precisely why I'm here. You are just perfectly fine, just as you are. So that's nice that he's kind of like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, and even though others might perceive you as being like a bit unstable, I know exactly how you are, and you're just fine the way you are. So even though he is a creep, he does know how to say the right things to get people to kind of be on his side at times. He goes on and says, let what you're feeling come gushing out until you've had your fill, or until you think you've reached someone. You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to hesitate. Whatever troubles you, whatever pains or sadness you, I will take it all and return it to Void. So basically, Koricho says, like, look, whatever problems you have going for you, if you need to burst them out with, so it might as well just be called Outburst her blooming now, because she's just having outbursts upon outbursts upon outbursts of energy. So I'm just going to call it that until we get the official name, until we get the official name. But I am 95% sure that her blooming is going to be called Outburst, because it just fits cool. It just fits Hiyofumi. Like, she doesn't know how to express her emotions, like, and when people are attacking her family, she will just the only emotion that she can give out is just like outbursts of just negative emotion in the form of attacks. That fits her character, in my personal opinion. It fit, like, when she first was showing signs of blooming, like in a fit of rage, she was outbursting her energy at Koricho. So yeah, that would fit her. But Koricho's saying, like, look, all these bad things, all these emotions, they are what make you you, and that's fine, that's perfect. But if you really need to get them out, just return to me, because my blooming can just take that all in and basically make it all away. And Hiyofumi starts to, like, see, like, oh my god, my uncle is, well, she already knew he was a good guy deep down. Like, is Koricho a good guy or not? Like, well, morally he's not a good guy, but like when it comes to his family, I would say yes, he is a good guy, even to Tayo, like, as much as it pains him. So yeah, he's able at this point to calm Hiyofumi down and say, Naoku defiled every last scrap of the Somni energy that poured out of you. Your rampage, or it might just be called Rampage. Like, Rampage or Outburst, either one fits for the name of... although that might fit more for Alpha's blooming if Bad Alpha... well, we know Bad Alpha's split personality, but Bad Alpha might be the starting gun for his blooming, and that might actually be called Outrage. So Outburst and Rampage, they would fit perfectly for their bloomings. He congratulates Hiyofumi. She has an excellent blooming, and now it's time for her to rest. And, of course, Hiyofumi now kind of starting to have a connection with Koricho more. Thanks him, and he's just like, and you just see like from Koricho just like, obviously like, I can't believe that actually worked. I was able to get that done. So now I need to tell Futaba that it's finished, and he asks her how it looks good on her end, and she says, "Oh, you're done? Glad to hear. As for me, I'm wrapping things up here. Just give me a few more minutes." And you just see her just bursting with just. You thought Hiofumi's like attacks were just massive. Futaba's are on a whole nother level where she's just like ripping this place to shreds just to get at Nee and Kazu. And you see Nee just being that. You see Kazu just like casually destroy again. You just see Nee like, "Get away from us! Get away from us! Get away from us!" And she go and Kazu's just there like, "Nee, scream too much and it'll make you seem like a weakling." But Nee's just like, I am one. I can't fight like you can. You can. I'm totally just a random mob. And Kazu's just like, no, you aren't. I have faith in your ability. You have confidence in yourself, which her ability is pretty useful. Explosion. Like, we've seen it, well, I shouldn't use Megumin as an example because, yeah, Megumin is useful, but she can only do it once a day. So I would say Nee's explosion is better just because she could do multiple of them at once. They go on and say like, "Here, see, look at these bright clear eyes, full of faith from my little sister." But Nee is just like, "Just get out of the way. We're trying to move our lives here. We've got this mad woman coming after short woman coming after us, just bursting with energy at this point." And Kaz's just like, "Okay, I'm sorry. We're running out of here. We're running out of here." But of course, Fruits was just like, "Oh, trying to run away. Huh, that's clever. Yeah, I'm not going to let you do that." And you just see her activating her abilities. Now, whether or not this is part of her training of her blooming, or whether this is like the starting gun for her true spring blooming, that's something we'll have to wait and see. But personally, I would say this is more of like an upgrade. Kind of like with what Naruto was with Koricho's Void, this might be an upgrade of Futaba's ability of magnetisium. I can never pronounce Futaba's blooming, but it might be an upgrade of that. So the way this ability works is that, okay, Futaba activates it, like uses her kinetic energy, possibly, yeah, because we don't see her eyes turning into the blooming, we don't see the eyes blooming here, so it might just be an upgraded form of her regular abilities. As she uses her kinetic energy, we see the ground actually start to shake and tremble as Kazu and Nee are just frozen in place, and they're just like bamboozled, like, what is going on here? As we see a dome created by Futaba's ability just extend out around them, and she's just like, "I call it my Futaba dojo. You can't get out. Yeah, you can't get out, but I bet some people will be able to get in, because as Kisuke Uehara said about asking Gift Boulder Ox, yeah, he said it was inescapable, but never said it was impenetrable. And it might be the same case here. Like, yeah, it's unbreakable on the inside, just the inside, not the outside. Yeah, so that might be a weakness of this ability, but yeah, still, it's a dome that seals them off, so like nobody can disturb them unless they deliberately try to like break this dome. She says to them, "I don't like children who sneak around and run away. It drives me up the wall." Yeah, we know, Futaba, we know. And down the other side. Before I capture you, I think I might take a minute to beat some better sense into you two. Come at me. I'll train the two of you. And Nia's just there like, what? You're going to capture us, but at the same time, you're going to train us. Like, how is that going to work? And yeah, I'm just as confused here. Like, she could easily just be like, "Oh, I've trapped you now. Now I can capture you." She might as well have just captured them, because she's created a dome where they can't escape. So anyway, Costa says, oh, okay then, okay, you want a fair fight with us, fair and square? Okay, I'll take on your challenge. And Nia's just there being like, no, really, please, someone please explain what's going on here. I am so confused right now. We were running for our lives and now she wants to train us before she captures the line. What were you going on? And that's where the chapter ends. So, yeah, not really much to go, well, we do have a lot to go off in this chapter. We got the ability. We finally found out what it was. So yeah, it was part of Karich's ability. So he did have 40 activated in the last chapter. But really, like I said, that ability, that upgrade of Karich's ability, just the fact that he can morph his steel spider into any shape he wants and have his void be inside of it. That is going to be pretty damn useful in the battle with Asa. Although, considering Asa can negate Creature's ability, I don't know how useful it's actually going to be. Like, maybe they say that the Yozakura's been training for the 5 years, but I imagine like Asa has been training his abilities for the 5 years, and we still don't know the name of his abilities, so it's going to be something insane for his. But in terms of this chapter, yeah, I did like how Karicho and Hifumi did kind of come to an understanding with each other, and maybe now Hifumi might start to see Karicho in a different light, but still, like, if he goes too far, beat some sense into him, and maybe, just maybe, that Karicho, after all of this, hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, we'll still get the creepy Karicho from time to time, but maybe now he can start to dial it back and just be like, okay, yeah, I'm starting to see where people... no, actually he doesn't, because he says, like, people just don't understand me, but maybe, just maybe he might start to see where people are coming from. And as for how Futsu's training of Nia and Kasu is going to go, I don't know. Like, maybe she'll activate her, maybe she will activate her blue wings, or maybe she'll activate her true spring blue wings. Like, I imagine, like, if it was going to be anyone, Futsu would be the one to be like, okay, I've got to be one of the ones to get true spring blooming. So this might be the fight that we actually do get it, that we get the true spring blooming of Futsu. So, hey, you never know. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later, guys.